Hello, friends, and welcome. Today I have for you not one but two fountain pens. Of course, they are the same model. The model is Waterman Laureat. These fountain pens were made in the late 1980s and early 1990s. As you can see, they have metallic bodies and this is the lacquer over brass. They have gold trimmings, and also um, the end is made from plastic. This other model is silver plated. You can see that the metallic parts are silver plated and are also stamped on the cap and also on the barrel, as you can see. This particular fountain pen has a piece that is not original, and it's on the end of the barrel. I bought it like it is because you can see at the original fountain pen this part it unscrews. So I believe that this part was lost on the other fountain pen, and it was replaced by this little transparent rock. Uh, it fits quite well, and the pen weighs with 1 gram less. Okay, let's talk about these two fountain pens. Those the Laureate series are an evolution of the Gentleman series and Executive Pen series, and practically there were the Watermans offered to the market of high-end gift pens under $100. This line was discontinued sometime around the 2000s. So there are two variants of the Laureate. Both these variants are the old variants, and they have this square clip in opposition to the variant 2, which had a round clip. And the steel nibs, which in these variants are quite plain, on the second variant are more decorated. And if we turn around the first variant, we can see this plain feed, and on the Model 2, the newer model made in the beginning of the 19th, this feed is more complex. Now I will start with the brass lacquer over brass variant. It is this beautiful burgundy red. I will start with the cap, which ends in this flat form. No imprint on the top, but we have an imprint on the clip, a W for Waterman, and this distinct hole in the cap clip, which is specific to the Waterman pens. The cap ends with this gold ring, and on it we have stamped Watermans made in France. It has a friction cap, and it reveals this plastic part, which is the grip part of the fountain pen. You can see these rings on the plastic, which feel very nice in the hand, and they gave a firm grip on it. And we have this steel nib. It is a gold-plated steel nib. It has an imprint, Waterman, France, and the size of the nib, the M nib. On the back, we have this plain-looking feed. The barrel continues with this gold-plated ring. It unscrews, and we can fit on it ink cartridges or ink converters. We continue with the barrel. You can see that in time it has some light scratches, but it also has this affected part. The lacquer, in time, if it's a really bad hit, it chips over the brass. It ends with the barrel ends with this gold ring, and a nice feature to this fountain pen, this part, this plastic part which unscrews. I don't know the purpose of this part being able to unscrew. Some people suggest that to hold big size cartridges, but it's no problem because you can see this is a whole part, so there is no point of removing this part. This part ends with the logo W and France, and the other model we will start with the obvious non-original part. Of course, if you have a removable part, there's a big chance that you could lose it, and I believe that this was the case with this gorgeous fountain pen. You can see that in comparison with the other fountain pen, it looks like a different fountain pen. It has this beautiful gold-plated metal part which has these lines, and it's quite a beautiful model. Again, we have the same clip, the same brand on the clip, the same ring, Waterman, made in France. I've already told you about this this imprints on the cap and on the barrel. This isn't made from solid sterling silver, but it's only silver plated. We have the same grip section and the nib. It's also an M nib like the other one, and the same feed. So we both have a version 1 of the Laureat from the late 80s in front of us. And I will do a side-by-side comparison. I have both of the Laureat, and I will compare it with other models from Waterman. I have here a Waterman Preface. I have a Waterman Export 1, a Waterman Kultur Deluxe, and an old Waterman. This is the CF version, gold plated, from the 1970s, also made in France. And because I've shown you only Waterman models, I will put a popular model. It is the Lamy 2000. Okay, these are the fountain pens side by side, and I will leave the measurements of the Waterman Laureat, the original one, which has the black plastic part at the end of the barrel. I will leave the measurements on the screen. Welcome to the writing sample. As I previously told you, the Waterman Laureat supports the international ink converter as well as ink cartridges. So we have both international ink converter, and international cartridges. I will use the Parker Quink ink. Give it a little shake before I will use it. I will need to fill this ink converter with ink. As you can see, I've drawn some ink for the writing sample. And now I will put both of the barrels of the fountain pens, this and this one. Okay, and now we are ready for the writing sample. I will start with the lacquer over brass one, the burgundy one. This is the Waterman Laureat. I will give it a clean because I believe it writes broad for its M size nib. So it has an M size gold plated steel nib. This particular Waterman is model 1 or a type 1, made in the late 1980s. Okay, it's a cartridge or ink converter. This is the filling mechanism. They are international size. Okay, this is a quite stiff nib, so those are the line variations. They are quite strange because they write like this, so it's not a flex nib, but it has a good feeling, good feedback. It's strange. It writes like an oblique. It writes strange like an oblique medium nib. But you can see that the tines are equal. So this is a strange. Now it writes smooth. And you can see more brother. So in this direction and in this direction. This is strange. It's like an oblique nib. But it's quite a nice writer. Okay, now we'll do the writing sample with the other one, with the silver plated one, which has also an M nib. Let's see the difference between those two nibs. Okay, the silver plated model has an cartridge, an ink cartridge from Pelican 4001. And let's see writing sample with this model. So it is a Waterman Laureat, also model 1. It has also an M size nib, also gold plated steel nib, and let's see, it writes the same. It's not a flex nib, but it's a smooth nib. I like it a lot. Let's see if it does the same lines. So these lines and these lines. Yes, even in this nib we can see a sign of oblique nibs. It's a slight oblique nib. Okay, so thank you for watching this small review of two Laureate fountain pens, Waterman Laureate fountain pens from the late 80s. As always, I wish you to have a nice day.